16 mandates were successfully upheld in the Imperial Synod over the winter solstice. Some of these mandates will have an effect at downtime, specifically those relating to the Brokelian defence. The Dawn National Assembly presents a mandate. The green forest of Brokelian is a wilderness like few others. Now the Valorn that lies at its heart rises again, against our friends among the Navarre. The opportunity for glory here cannot be ignored, nor should the people of Semaholm and Astolat ignore the sacrifices the Navarre have made to protect them against the malign force of the power that dwells there. The Dawn Assembly sends René de Rondel with 50 doses of Liao to encourage knights and witches to offer their aid to the Navarre fighting to stem the green tide of the Valorn. Let knights-errant and questing knights alike face the challenge of the Dark Forest, and show the abhorrent power of the Valorn the might of Dornish steel. The named priest is again René de Rondel. The outcome would be enhanced awards for Dornish characters supporting Slow the Valorn action. The General Assembly presents a mandate. The way binds us together, guiding all citizens on a virtuous path. We send Esker Crowspeaker with 50 Liao to spread the way to those we have rescued from Duftreig, to allow them to find a place for themselves in the Empire. The named priest is Esker Crowspeaker, and the outcome encourages slaves liberated from Duftreig to embrace the way. The General Assembly makes another mandate. All members of the Synod have a duty to represent their congregations. Those who are neither raising judgments in pursuit of their goals, nor voting in support of their understanding of virtue, shame themselves. We send Rafe with 100 doses of Liao to urge any priest in the Empire who does not make full use of their powers to take up arms and lead their congregations in heroic battle. The named priest was Rafe, and the outcome was characters with congregation resources will be able to exchange them for military unit resources. The Wintermark Assembly makes a mandate. Those winterfolk who are members of the Synod have a duty to represent their congregations. Those who are neither raising judgments in pursuit of their goals nor voting in support of their understanding of virtue shame themselves. We send Severi Jalmarison with 50 doses of Liao to urge any priest of Wintermark who does not make full use of their powers to take up arms and lead their congregations in heroic battle. The named priest is Severi Jalmarison. The outcome is that Wintermark characters with congregation resources will be easily able to exchange them for military resources. The General Assembly makes a further mandate. The virtuous build up their fellows and take pride in their people. Rather than looking to line their own pockets, Imperial citizens should seek ways to strengthen their own nations, and by doing so, strengthen the Empire as a whole. We send Bartimius with 75 Liao to urge Imperial citizens to consider how best the bounty of their nations might be used for the benefit of their people. The named priest was Bartimius. The outcome is that nations will present proposals to make use of their own bourse resources. The Highguard Assembly proposes a mandate. The purpose of our pilgrimage is to save souls, certainly those who have fallen to the Valorn, but also those who are in danger of being lost to false beliefs. We, the Highborn Assembly, acknowledge that no citizen follows the way perfectly. We all have room to grow and faults to address. We send Lilith of the Chantry with 25 Liao to urge the Grey Pilgrims to act as guides for all the human nations of this great empire. As they walk the trods in years to come, let there be no dark corner in which they cannot shine the light of virtue. The named priest was Lilith of the Chantry. The outcome is that all human nations will suffer penalties to their congregations. The General Assembly makes a further mandate. The Way was founded in Bastion, and the Sumar were among the first to follow in our footsteps. For so long, Bastion has been a single light in a sea of savagery and ignorance. The Imperial Synod is heartened to learn there are now 2 with Bastion's counterpart in Timosh. Rather than seek division through political pettiness, the Imperial Synod has a grander vision, and so sends Yorma Steelhail with 150 doses of Liao to urge the citizens of the Empire and the Sumar Republic to seek common ground and focus on our shared ambition in spreading the way to the world. The named priest is Jorma Steelhail. The outcome is seeking reconciliation with the Sumar Republic. The Highguard Assembly makes another mandate. The monstrous infestation that is the Valorn is a danger beyond any other that now faces us. There is no sacrifice too great that we cannot meet to defeat this terror. The walking of the Trods will weaken the Valorn, but we must not be blind to the danger it poses to humanity. The time has come to raise sword and brand against it in defence of our allies, and to strike at the horror in Bracheliand before it becomes a threat to our own people. We send Hazelelponi of the Shattered Tower with 50 doses of Liao to urge the vigilant faithful of Highguard to aid the Navarre in the defence of Bracheliand. The named priest was Hazelelponi of the Shattered Tower. The outcome is that congregations of Highguard will help support the defenders of Bracheliand. The Prosperity Assembly pushes forward a mandate. As Edna has declared, the building of the Cinderpath Exchange is a virtuous endeavour that both increases the prosperity of the Empire as a whole and ensures that those who sell white granite receive a fair and virtuous reward for their labours. We send Edna with 100 doses of Liao to urge those prosperous citizens who have white granite to refrain from auctioning it through the Bourse auction at Anvil until such time as the Cinderpath Exchange is completed. The named priest was Edna of the Chantry. The outcome is that citizens will withhold white granite from the public auction until the Cinderpath Exchange is built. The Highguard Assembly proposes a further mandate. Highguard were those who founded the Way and first spread it to the peoples of the Empire's nations. They have now shown their loyalty in kind for this great enlightenment Highguard gave to them, and it is time to spread the Way further afield through the people of foreign nations. We send Abel of the Shattered Tower with 25 Liao to urge the Grey Pilgrims to convert travelling foreigners to the Way, so that they may go back to their lands and pass on the truth. The named priest is Abel of the Shattered Tower, and the outcome is urging Grey Pilgrims to convert foreigners to the Way. The Highguard Assembly proposes a further mandate. As Bartimius has already vouchsafed, virtuous people set prices for things which are fair, and buy and sell them accordingly. The Senate disagrees. It denies the virtue of engaging in trade in a virtuous manner. We send Raziel of the Shattered Tower with 25 doses of Liao to urge those highborn citizens in possession of white granite to refuse to deal with the greed embodied by the Bourse auction at Anvil until such a time as the Cinderpath Exchange is completed. The named priest is Raziel of the Shattered Tower. The outcome is that highborn citizens will withhold white granite from the public auction until the Cinderpath Exchange is built. The General Assembly proposes a further mandate. Skarsind offers a welcome home for slaves liberated from the broken shore. Just as we once fought for our freedom, so you will have a chance to fight against those who once enslaved you. Those who do not fight will still have a place, working to support our legions. We send Skywise Tulva with 50 Liao to encourage the slaves to settle in Skarsind and let them know that those who choose to adopt our ways will be able to become Imperial Orcs in no time. The named priest is Skywise Tulva. The outcome is that Orc slaves freed from Duvtreg will be urged to move to Skarsind. The Varushkin Assembly proposes a mandate. Vasily Zoryakovich Verakaz reminds us that slavery is unacceptable. Esker Crowspeaker urges us to open out homes to those who have found freedom. Yet in Varushka we cannot simply accept a stranger at face value, and we must be certain of the nature of those we invite into our homes. We send Belikov the Wolf of Karsk with 150 doses of Liao to examine each of these strangers and determine whether each of them is friend or foe. The named priest is Balakov, the Wolf of Karsk. The outcome is that slaves freed from Ossian by the Druge will be individually assessed to ensure that they are human. The Highguard finally propose a further mandate. The purpose of our pilgrimage is to save souls, those who have fallen to the Valorn, but also those who are lost to malign forces, and those who bend the knee to Eternals, we send Shadrach with 25 liao to urge the Grey Pilgrims to preach the rejection of false virtues and idolatrous behaviour. The named priest is Shadrach. The outcome is that the Grey Pilgrims will be urged to root out and oppose false virtues and eternal cults. Imperial law. One ritual is being entered into imperial law, presuming the money to distribute them across the empire is forthcoming. The ritual Madin's Gift has been raised by Simargl. Once payment has been made, these rituals will be available to be mastered by imperial magicians.